Hello, hello, hello. This is Tony McGraven coming to you from Chicago, as usual. We're here on Vlog Talk with Mike. Thanks for coming out. We've got another installment in the Clay Township Board saga. It's the origin story. I don't know why everyone doesn't like Jerry, but boy, they don't like Jerry. So I did a little digging. to get into the origin story. Let's take a look, shall we? This is the origin story as far as I can tell. I put this together for you. I put this, my understanding so far. Now, this is just a guess. This is a guess on my part, but I think Jerry comes from another planet and he's hatched. In one way or another, he makes his way down to Clay Township, Michigan, where instantly he's placed on the board. The board for Clay Township, Michigan. All I can tell you is the first video I did was Jerry trying to go to a bunch of conferences. And is everybody pissed? Like he doesn't need to go to the conferences. There's no doubt in my mind. He does not need to go to the conferences. But to me, to be fair to Jerry, in Jerry's defense, it looked like garden variety unnecessary government crap that you see every day. It didn't seem special. Absolutely unnecessary. but nothing beyond the pale. Let me see what else we got here. The best I could do with AI. See if we can progress this story here. All right. Now this isn't real. This is a mock-up of what I'm seeing here. It's a little setup for Jerry being welcome to the board, from egg to rocket to Michigan to township board. It's pretty simple. It's just a 4-step process here we're looking at. Let's do it.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call, Paul Cassidy.
Here.
Tanya Hogan, here. Jerry Golka.
Here.
John DeBoyer, absent.
So Jerry, now I literally haven't seen this, so y'all have to help me. We need to solve the mystery. Whose toes did Jerry step on? What did he do? Because let me tell you, subsequent meetings are all about getting Jerry out. That's all they are.
Richard, absent, excused. Maureen Bory.
Here.
Brian Campbell.
Here.
All right, public comment?
Oh, here's John.
Here's John.
Oh, John? Oh, okay.
Yeah. John DeBoyer.
I'm here.
Yay.
All right, sorry, folks.
It's okay.
Public comments? Ma'am, public comment?
For agenda items?
Yes.
You want to talk about the 3-minute rule or no?
Brian Kufeld, 8401 McKinley. I'd like to take a minute just to touch on today's special meeting.
Oh, here we go. I tried to adjust the mic a little bit. I'm told it's low. It's always public comment. The meetings are always like 80% public comment, and the public comment is vicious.
Seems we're supposed to be meeting in 4 days from now, but we got to hurry up and push this through. Convenient time scheduled at 3 o'clock. So let's discuss about the garbage about to be discussed later. Item number 1, Phase 2 feasibility study proposal dated 12/23/2024. Only valid for 30 days from the date. Proposal is unsigned, or is it? Maybe Mr. Cassidy could shed some light on this, but probably won't. Items in this proposal: geotechnical analysis proposal and sub-consultant fee provided to HIDA in Phase 1. Where's this information? Traffic data analysis and site development completed in Phase 1. Where's the site and property located? Where's that information? Marine construction copy provided to HIDA in Phase 1.
I believe this is his first meeting. I mean, this is a rough crowd. They may have good reason to be a rough crowd. I'm not saying, I don't know. I'm not up to the local politics, but they come out swinging.
Where is this information? Added costs to be estimated in future for application of grants. Hasn't HIDA been paying a grant writer to the tune of $5,000 per their budget and their treasurer's report? Should the budget of $150,000 be expended, OHM will request additional funds. What kind of contract is this? Easy answer, it's open-ended. It's going to cost more than $150,000, and they'll just bill the township for it. Okay? You guys took on Clay Township residents as an interested party in this lawsuit when you stole the $150,000 of taxpayer funding. Now, we're entitled to that information. Item number 2, Addis Law Firm. Cassidy's personal attorney for HIDA? Seems like a conflict of interest. Is township going to start paying for Cassidy's
Apparently, St. Clair County.
representation and HIDA's representation? Questions to ask. Case number 23-002572, Charlie Zulu and
He's got to work on his rhetorical style. You just don't like spew a bunch of stuff and say questions to ask. I mean, I get it. You're hot, but that's not the way to go about it.
subsequent case numbers for repeated FOIA violations by HIDA while they're under Mr. Addis's counsel. 5 months after that litigation, Mr. Addis recuses himself and withdraws from that litigation to be replaced by his neighboring law firm, Peacock Law. Is this the expert representation that the township needs, or an example of the tactics employed? I'm sure the board of 4 is going to vote, and these items are going to pass by a vote of 4. I wish I could pick the lottery's numbers as well as this.
Everywhere.
In closing, I'd like to quote this board when they ran in saying, "What is this board hiding?" Because the township residents deserve to know. Thank you.
Pam Murtis. As you know, on February 25th, 2025, I sent the board a formal challenge to the validity of the OHM feasibility study contract and requested for immediate suspension pending legal review. The motion Mr. Cassidy made on December 16th of 24 does not appear to be legally sufficient to enter into a contract with the OHM, nor to properly obligate ARPA funds before the December 31st, 24 deadline. At that same meeting, John DeBoyer voiced his strong concern that these were restricted funds and questioned the legality of moving them. This contract is likely invalid, and rather than lose these funds, I request that the board return the ARPA funds to the Water Department before the next Treasury report is made. I also request a roll call vote on the following regarding the OHM contract. Which board members were aware of this contract before it was executed on December 24th, 2024? I would like a roll call on that, please. The motion alone does not authorize a contract with OHM. At best, it reallocates ARPA funds for a feasibility study. But without a formal vote to approve a contract with OHM, the township lacks the legal authority to enter into or pay for contract with OHM. Nowhere in this motion is OHM mentioned as a company that would conduct a feasibility study. A legally binding contract typically requires a specific vendor to be identified and approved in a public vote. Since no formal motion or roll call vote ever took place to contract with OHM, there is no clear authorization for the township to enter into an agreement. No approval of a contract or scope of work is an issue too. The motion only reallocates money from the Water Department to the general fund for a feasibility study. It does not state that a contract should be executed with any specific company. No discussion of contract terms, deliverables, or vendor selection process appears to have taken place. There is a violation of ARPA fund obligation rules because to properly obligate ARPA funds before the December 31st, 24 deadline, the township needed to formally approve a contract with the vendor, in this case OHM, before the deadline. Document that funds were legally committed to a specific project with a contract in place, and if the board never formally voted to contract with OHM before the deadline, then the ARPA funds have likely not been properly obligated and may be in jeopardy of being forfeited. You have potential Open Meetings Act violation, because if OHM was never publicly discussed or voted on, but the contract was signed in private, this could be a violation of Michigan Opens Meeting Act. At least 2 board members have stated they were unaware of the contract, which raises serious transparency concerns. I do believe that this contract is likely invalid. Now, did you want me to have my comments on the attorney at a later time, or do it now?
You have 3 minutes, ma'am, that's it.
Oh, for each agenda item.
For 3 minutes, ma'am.
So are you denying me that about the attorney then? Is that what you're saying?
Hi, my name's Eddie Bauer. I live at 9601 Doty. I'm an out islander, and I'm really embarrassed to say the Clay Township.
Eddie Bauer, are you crapping me? That's kind of cool.
I came up here last week to talk to you, Paul. Twice I left 2 messages, and I was given this piece of paper, which, when you look at it, it's the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. Doesn't even have your proper phone numbers. They have them handwritten. You're going to spend $150,000, and you can't even show yourselves as people of business? That's insane. My second thing is that I contacted the United States Coast Guard, Sector Detroit, the ice-breaking divisions. You have not filed a permit, and you will not get a permit for breaking ice in the Great Lakes. Nobody has been issued one. Your ferry that you're talking about is going to have ice-breaking capabilities. I live downstream. When you break the ice, I can't go across with my airboat. I have the same airboat the United States Coast Guard has. You've probably seen it around. I have a black airboat, all enclosed. I can't get to my house when you're breaking the ice. And I want to make sure you understand, if they bulldoze your road, you can't get to your house. You shouldn't be able to block me from getting to my house. And I'm not happy at all with the professionalism of this. I'm not happy at all that I've left 2 messages for you, and you have not called me back. I get a piece of paper at the front desk. I have to write my name and phone number, and you have not called me back. I can't believe this. Thank you.
I grew up in this state. This is so freaking Michigan. I can't begin to tell you. It just is.
Good to see everybody here. Hello, my name is Artie Bryson, 8356 South Channel. Good job, Brian and Pam. I don't have to go over that stuff. Hi, Eileen. Did you guys get the email I sent you with the legal opinions? I take that as a yes. Silence is yes. So there's a couple other points I wanted to bring out. ARPA funds, before you spend them, is required to go out for bid, advertise publicly. Advertise for 45 days. Had to do it for all the stuff we're buying for the park. See, 45 days from December 23rd, that's before you guys were in office. So that was not done. ARPA people are going to have a problem with that. The new council you're getting ready to appoint is going to charge the township $175 an hour. The current council is charging us $140 an hour. Makes sense to me. And I do believe that HIDA is employed your council you want to appoint to a tune of $40,000 last year. That's what it said in their financial statements. Yeah, that's a conflict of interest. I'll review my email I sent you. I asked a legal opinion on some questions. It was against the law for you to move the $150,000 from water to the general because it was already expensed under the water meters. 2, when I said you could, it wasn't an expense. At that time you could have. But when you moved it, it was expensed. 2, you cannot move funds from the water fund to the general fund for anything. Just can't do it. And 3, it's against the law for the township to spend money on a feasibility study for HIDA that the township has no control over. So, what on this agenda has to be done today? Why couldn't it be done in 4 days? Anything? I don't see it.
Artie, I want you to hear something.
You want to wait till it's discussion?
By saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Next, we have revenue replacement discussion. We have, I know where you're going with this, and let me approximately play it. $238,000. That's unallocated in our ARPA money. Now, and the next board can change this. I just want to make sure it gets allocated before the end of the year. Otherwise, we lose it. Okay, I said the next board can change it. At that time, which I already said, Jerry, you can turn it off. Revenue replacement. At that time, that was true. It could be. When it got transferred, not allocated. But then Christie, the old treasurer, applied it to the line item to pay for water meters that we already bought. At that point, once that transaction was done, it was restricted and could not be moved. But at that point, when I said that, it could. Yes. So you can stick that up wherever you want.
Artie, you just always do the same thing. You say one thing and then you say another thing when it happens.
No,
I've had residents come and talk to me about
It's
that.
public comments time.
yeah.
Okay.
You want to bring it on? I'll be here all day. I can, yeah. How's our cash reconciliation at the end of the month and end of the day? I'd like to know how that's going. Because that's very important for the township for internal controls. Thank you.
Pam Murdis regarding the agenda item.
By the way, the first video I did was talking about reconciliation, and it's like months later, and there's nothing going on with reconciliation. I mean, it's not my thing, but there's no progress on reconciliation.
Item regarding the hiring of Albert Addis. We can't hear you. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is on, not on. I'll be more than happy to. Okay, Attorney Addis has represented the Harsons Island Transportation Authority, yet he came before the Clay Township Board on December 12, 2024, to give a legal opinion on a matter that directly affects HIDA, without prior knowledge of the full board or full disclosure that he has represented HIDA. Given his existing ties to Haida, I believe this raises serious concerns about impartiality and transparency. Additionally, the long-standing relationship between Attorney Addis and the township supervisor further complicates the situation. Now that Mr. Addis has submitted a bid to replace the township's current legal counsel, I believe this presents a clear conflict of interest. Our legal representation should be independent and free from any appearance of bias. Given this relationship, I also believe it would be appropriate for the supervisor to recuse himself from any vote on this matter. I urge the board to act with full transparency, consider the ethical implications, and prioritize the best interests of the township and its residents. The people of Clay Township deserve accountability, and any decision regarding legal counsel should be made with the utmost integrity. For these reasons, I respectfully request that Attorney Addis not be considered for the role of Clay Township legal counsel.
Julie Schatzberg, 2246 Harris, Harson's Island, full-time year-round resident for over 30 years. As a supporter and daily user of Champions Auto Ferry, I'm here to speak out against the use of any township funds going toward Haida's agenda to pay OHM for a feasibility study for a second ferry service. Our current existing service is safe and efficient in the transport of vehicles to and from Harson's Island. They operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The structural integrity of the vessels, as well as onboard safety protocol, has oversight and regularly scheduled inspections by the United States Coast Guard, who are more than capable of performing these routine checks. Since when is a township allowed to fund the opening of a business like this? Haida's bridge and ferry millage proposals have been turned down by residents. If everyone was on board with what you're doing, they would have voted differently. On a second note, I'm against the hiring and use of Mr. Cassidy's attorney, L. Addis Law Firm. I believe this is a huge conflict of interest to be hiring his buddy for this position. I'm requesting you deny this proposal and choose someone without a personal connection to yourselves. It is not a good look.
I have a couple concerns about why you're having this meeting tonight, why you're not having it on Monday.
Could you state your name, please? and-
Wendy from Harson's Island. And what is the results of the first study? You're starting the second study and you haven't even given us the results of the first one. And we don't want or need a second ferry. Our first ferry is just fine. We voted on it. 425 said no, 123 said yes. The ferry is safe. It's what reasonably priced. It runs great. We have 2 ferries run right now, and we run 4 on the weekends. You don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 ferries. You don't have enough people. I don't know how you're going to pass this study. You don't have people that need ferries. And why are you stealing money from the water department? We need that money in the water department. Right now, we got a lot of issues with the water department. I don't know why you're taking it away from them. And you stated in your campaign you were not going to use the ferry. You weren't going to have anything to do with the ferry stuff in your campaign. Obviously, this has changed. And you're supposed to be transparent with everything. You're not transparent. This whole meeting is not transparent. The OHM is not transparent. All your studies are not transparent. The ARPA money is supposed to be for the whole township, not just for a ferry service, not just for island people to use. It's for
They're downright opaque.
the whole township. And who really is behind the second ferry? Who's the private investor? Why are you pushing this agenda so hard? You said at a Haida meeting you would never make your money back.
Okay, I'm starting to. It's coming into focus. There's a ferry conspiracy. There's a ferry conspiracy. I don't understand it yet, but I have now recognized that there is a ferry conspiracy. I don't understand the details of it yet. Someone's going to have to explain it to me.
with a $5 ferry. It's already way overspent right now. You're going to spend millions of dollars for a $5 ferry. That's never going to happen. It can't be $5. And if Harson's Island is part of this, I think that we should succeed from Clay Township and become its own entity again, like it was before. Because I don't want to be part of this illegal mess that you're creating. All this is conflict of interest. Thank you.
Ladies first. See, I can do that. Great neighbors. My name is Shannon Cody. I live at 2985 Fruit Street, Clay Township. I want to point out a couple of things. I've been here 19 years now. I'm from Maine. Someday I'm going home. But in that time, I've watched the sheriff's department, the police department take care of enormous problems that were plaguing this town. I've seen this township
I mean, is there no heat in the room? Someone's got to ask.
grow. Me personally, I'm pushing for it to grow more and for the township to be more involved in that growth. And I think this is all evidence of that. Thursday at 3 o'clock and the room's full. The things that bother me are this pushing of an agenda for something that we do not have a need. It's not in our master plan. Disregard it. I tell my clients that all the time. Look at the master plan. What does it say? What does the township need? In that master plan, there's no mention of a second ferry, new ferry, replacing the ferry, anything like that. Now, if we grow this town and we bring back is it an amusement park? Somebody tell me. An amusement park and all that used to be on Harson's Island, and we need more ferries? Absolutely, 100%. I think everybody will be behind you. But I think that we need to address things that the township needs so that it can continue to grow, continue to be better,
You really overestimate my technical ability here.
and you'll get the support of everybody in it, undoubtedly. And be very careful with things that look like they're going to be a legality issue down the road. Thank you.
Is this microphone on perchance?
It's very low from someone who has heard a lot of audio. Hi, I'm Adam Pender from 2979 Fruit Street. Really, the only thing that I came up here to say was, what's with the timing of these emergency meetings? Why are they 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday? Luckily, I have the blessings to be able to have a flexible work schedule and get out of work whenever I need to, but most people don't. But I think, as you can see by the amount of people here and the fact that there is not a single parking spot right outside those windows, that even with it being 3 o'clock on a weekday, people are still showing up for this, and I think that says something. But how many people were not able to attend this that would have loved to attend it? Because I know there are a lot. Why couldn't it be later? At a normal time that most people could get to. That's just a question there. And then one other thing that, I just thought about recently was how was the new lawyer approved? Who made that decision? Was that a board vote or was that a single person's vote? Who made that decision to change from the former legal counsel to the current legal counsel? And, how did that come about? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, that guy seemed very reasonable.
Is there anyone else?
Steve Pardon, 423 Ash Avenue on Harson's. I just recently retired, but I spent 50 years in the marine industry, rebuilding engines like are on that Harson's ferry. That ferry is a swinging deal for that price. My business came, pardon me?
Can't hear you.
Oh. Yeah, it's pretty low. Anyways, that is such a good deal, that boat. It runs all the time. It's got spare boats. It's reasonable. I came from Washington State, the biggest inland water ferry system in the country, and they have nothing but problems. And you think you're going to be able to bring a new boat and build it and run it cheaper? You're kidding. Just isn't going to happen. That boat is an excellent deal. That operation's a good deal for for the county. There's no reason to go down this road. None. I've been in this industry. I see what it costs to run that boat. It should be charging more, but it's a good deal.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Snella. I live at 8256 Middle Channel Drive, Harson's Island. I've got two questions. One, who proposed this study? And two, who will benefit by this study if a new ferry were to be put in place? Thank you very much.
I don't know, but I think Jerry's involved. Just a hunch.
I'm Andy Goulet, 9812 North River Road, Clay Township. Again, I lived here for a long time. I have some questions. I don't expect anybody to dialogue with me right now. However, during your board comments, perhaps you could address some of the questions that have been asked here, i.e. the 3 o'clock meeting that couldn't wait until Monday, the hurry for these items, the feasibility study, what did the last one say, and is it going to be feasible according to the other study? And if not, why is there a second study? Or if so, why is there a second study? The law firm, that's not something that needs to happen on a day-to-day basis. The entity that I'm involved with, we do that once a year. And your attorneys are with you, and you do it when you can. So the hurriness of this and other questions that have been asked, I'd appreciate seeing answers to during your board comments when you're allowed to speak. I don't want to use my 3 minutes and have the phone go off or be thrown out, so I'll wrap it up real quick. I thought maybe I would be able to speak about whatever I want to, but I was told the last time at the first public comment, you can only speak about what's on the agenda, and then the second public comment, you can talk about whatever you want. There's not a second one, so, sometime we might want to tighten some of that up, but that's up to you guys. So after you do what you want, here with these items in a few minutes, I'd really appreciate hearing during board member comments some answers to questions from these folks as well as mine. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Richard King. I live at 4055 Green Drive with my wife. We're full-time residents. I've only been here for 5 years. I wish it was 45. This is an awesome place. A year or so ago, I voted for the millage for the study. I guess I always believed that looking into something a little bit different is always a good thing. That was clearly voted down by the voters of the island. And I believe that the wishes of the voters should be followed. Artie, if you're still here, I got a question for you. Does the supervisor's position run for a 2-year term or a 4-year term?
4-year.
4-year term under Michigan law.
Agreed. That's one thought that I have. I'm having a lot of fun laughing at this. I don't understand the issues because it's super local politics. That's fine. Okay, and some of it's amusing. But I will say, for these people, I don't even know who's right or wrong about any specific thing or whatever. But I will say these people care about their community. They really do. I mean, showing up at 3 o'clock on a weekday for a surprise meeting, these people care. And that's commendable.
Says we can't ask for a recall vote for a year. But if this board doesn't want to do what the voters want, then I would like to see somebody right now start the process so that when we hit the 1-year date, we can ask for a recall of this board.
Sir, your comments are supposed to be directed towards me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was at fault, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
Any other comments? All right, we'll move on to new business. Feasibility study or alternative transportation to Harson's Island, GL 101. 265, 8036.02, $150,000. OHM contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the feasibility study for alternative transportation to Harson's Island, GL, on line 101-265-8036-02, $150,000.
Kind of wrong number.
Is there a second?
A second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a statement.
ahead.
I'd like to say that any board member that votes on this agenda item is in potential violation of the state of Michigan law. I just want to warn this entire board of that. That's all I have to say.
Perhaps you could share the law to us, Mr. DePere.
No, that's my statement.
You don't want to
My
tell us.
comment is complete. Is that-
Any other comments? I don't know if there's necessary to make much comment.
cannot hear you.
I'm sorry. Maybe none of the mics are working.
This one's working.
Can you hear me now?
Speak up, talk like a man.
Open your mouth and let the words come out.
All right, I guess that since everybody's very interested in hearing what I have to say, I'll just make a couple brief comments. Ma'ams, this young lady over here has filed a FOIA request from us, and we requested, we got all the information for you, ma'am. It's all sitting there. Now, I know when Maureen Bory asked for a garbage contract, the board told her $1,900 to fulfill that FOIA request of somebody actually on the board. And our response to your FOIA request, ma'am, was to get all the information you requested, and the bill is about $100, and you're not paying it, and you're just going to sit there and mislead everybody into believing we're not transparent. You and Mr. Bryson ought to collaborate together because he just asked for the same thing.
Okay, this isn't Jerry, I don't think. I don't know. Is this Paul? Tell me who's speaking. I think Jerry's the guy sitting to the right of him.
Claiming no transparency, and the two of you could get together and pay the money. Now, you know what? I'm not going to comment too much on Mr. Bryson because he never says the same thing twice. The man is not guided by the truth, never has, and never will be. And anybody here that wants to believe him,
Personal agenda is BS.
Isn't that defamation?
Absolutely.
we will, I'm sure glad that we got a house full of lawyers here. We got Mr. DeBoyer knows the law, all you people know the law. It's too bad we don't know the law.
What the people want.
Have him take it out with the hat on.
You want to hit the gavel, Paul?
Being as it may, I won't even bother wasting my time speaking. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Why don't you comment about the ferry stuff and what you're all...
I'd like to, but everybody wants to talk over me, all right? I show people respect. I listen when I don't agree with them. I have nothing further. You get to work on your recall. Go ahead. Any other comments?
We all help on that when it comes time.
Can you please ask for order?
You want to take a vote?
Don't y'all want to talk about your relationships with the ferry, with the new ferry you're trying to say?
Dave, you want to have them leave? Just have them leave.
We're going to do a roll call vote on the motion. Maureen, do you want to repeat the motion? Jerry Galka supported it. Maureen made the motion.
Do we want to discuss anything so
I
people
don't need to
understand what
discuss it. These people
what it's
don't
all
care.
about?
No, these people don't care.
I mean,
What do you mean we don't care when we've taken our time?
now,
today?
if,
have work to come here. Because you can't
please, can we have order? This is the time for the board to speak, okay? It's not time for you to speak. I'm trying to give you a little bit of insight, and you've been asking questions. But we need to have respect, we need to have no outbursts.
Thanks, Assistant Supervisor Bory.
Well, thank you for...
Go ahead, Maureen. Go ahead.
And this is, principles of governance is to treat another board member with respect, and you are not treating me with respect right now, Mr.
We have a
DeBoyer.
supervisor who can chair the meeting and run it.
People can't hear.
Listen, let's forget it, all
I
right?
make a motion.
I was going to explain everything, but I'll let it go. Let's just do a roll call
Sir,
vote.
have a seat, please. Sir, please have a seat.
No, have him
Somebody
leave.
on hours come in, make these,
Have him leave.
and nobody can hear. I understand that. Then why are we here if we can't hear?
You want to do a roll call vote?
Maureen, would you like to read the motion again so we know what we're voting on?
I vote to approve the use of, to approve the feasibility study for alternative transportation to Harson's Island from line item GL 101-265-8036.02 for $150,000.
Okay.
And Jerry supported it.
Roll call vote, John DeBoyer.
No vote.
You can't not vote.
I can absolutely not vote.
Maureen
I
Bory.
was told that you can't not vote.
You're right, he cannot vote, but let him do it. Okay, he's going to run the meeting.
You cannot abstain unless there's a conflict of interest.
That's true. Go ahead.
You cannot abstain unless there's a conflict of interest. You have to
Maureen,
vote.
I know, we know that. He wants to do that, that's up to him.
Well, he's in violation, yes.
Violation of many violations, Maureen.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Officer?
Can you please remove the people who speak?
Take it down.
Paul Cassidy.
Yes.
Jerry Galka.
Yes.
Brian Campbell.
Yes.
Tanya Hogan. I'm abstaining from voting as well.
You're not allowed.
Well, then bring it
Welcome now, baby.
Why did they call this meeting? Did you not answer?
Go ahead.
anyone
Did you
else's
call Maureen yet?
I did. Everybody's been called. I was the last
All right,
person.
Motion passed. Proposal from Al Addis Law Firm, Clay Township RFP, final PDF. Do we have a motion?
I motion for proposal for L. Addis Law Firm, Clay Township, RFP, final PDF.
A second.
Discussion?
Yeah, what's the reason that we're changing legal firms?
We're
for the
not
township?
changing anybody. We're adding an attorney if we want to use them.
So does Siebert and
That's right.
Delasky stay on?
Yes.
Okay. So what would be the reason for two firms?
Oh, and there's Christine Anderson as well.
Well, that's Delasky.
Depending on the
That's who she
issues. You can go to either one.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Paul.
Depending on an issue, a legal issue, we can use either law firm.
Okay. So we feel Siebert and Delasky's not qualified for some issues? Is that worth it?
I think that Mr. Addis brings a more qualified ability than they do on certain issues. Yes.
Keep you out of jail. Okay.
Have him leave. Officer, have him leave right now.
Have them trespass you.
Officer, have him leave. He's been too disruptive.
Listen, if there's another statement made publicly, please just wait until after me. You can berate us all day long, okay? show some respect. That includes the guy with the hat on the right way.
So just another.
Treasurer, you want to hear it?
Take him out. Take him out. Take him out.
Is this, are you threatening to arrest me if I don't leave? Tell me.
I don't believe I'm going to arrest you.
You are, by threat of arrest, I will leave. I'll see you in court.
You're violating your rights now.
I know, trust me, it's not your fault. I'll see you in court.
Leave the building.
Public building.
We can hear him now.
You're gonna be trespassing.
He's staying in the building. You want to shut the doors?
Yeah, close the doors.
Close the doors.
Officer, just close the doors.
So I called when I saw this, I talked to Mr. Addis. He works with the Village of New Haven, with Lennox Township, very similar to us, New Haven waterfront. He attends the meetings to just give any feedback that is needed, which I understand probably over 90% of townships have counsel at their meetings. This has not been a practice for this township, and I think it's a good idea. So, I like his experience, I like the fact that he works with neighboring townships, and the fact that, he'll come to the meetings and assist in any way that we may need, if we need a legal opinion right away. So just letting you know that.
Issues?
I said the Village of New Haven and Lennox Township, and I think I'm speaking loudly.
Okay, so there's been a lot thrown around social media, and I'm just asking to verify because I don't know. Is it true that the Addis Law Firm does legal work for the Harson's Island Transportation Authority?
Not presently.
Have they in the past?
They did in the past.
Okay.
And then I just have a question. So I was looking at the proposal, and he's 175 an hour when our current is
That's right.
125 an hour.
That's true.
Okay.
145, is that?
No, 125.
125, okay.
Did we put this out for advertisement at all, or
No, we're not required to do that.
we don't think it's a good idea?
I don't think it's needed.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to bring another one to the board, we can look at that too. We don't have to, it's just on a need-to-have basis. So it's not like we're going to be paying him if we don't bring him in for anything. So if you have others, generally the supervisor is the one who has to talk with counsel. As a trustee, I was told I can't even speak to the lawyer.
Who told you that?
Mr. Bryson, Supervisor Bryson. Oh, yes, I have
I talk to the lawyer
Well, if
quite
you said
often.
that,
I call
you're-
her a lot for
you're-
things.
I have an email to prove it, that I was told I am not allowed to speak with the lawyer.
He admits it.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
yeah, well, a lot of things might surprise you, John.
Man,
So anyway,
not really anymore. So the proposal is to have the Addis Law Firm or a representative here at every board meeting? That's what we're saying we're going to do?
We haven't said that.
Oh, that's what I thought.
He does-
We can do that.
he does that at other
We could
townships.
have
I'll watch the
Christine
tape because I
Anderson
thought
appear.
Maureen said that.
Yeah.
a very good idea.
He does that at other townships, and I said I think it's a good idea. I would like to have him here at the meetings. That's my opinion, but I'm only one of a board of 7. So, that's, and that is, I think, a call of the supervisor. The supervisor is the one, who,
So, one other question I did have, obviously, this is another social media item. Was he your personal attorney, Mr. Supervisor?
He represented me on a lawsuit against Mr. Bryson for defamation.
Okay.
Now, he has withdrawn, I've hired a different attorney. My relationship with him was not on an hourly basis, it was on a contingency fee. Mr. Bryson has publicly stated on his whatever,
Flyer.
social media, that he thinks the township's paying my legal bill for Mr. Addis, and I've not paid him a penny.
That's enough.
I just want you to know. There's been claims about all the people he's represented. Somebody said Jeff Smith.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, he's got a lot of experience.
It doesn't matter. He has represented Macomb Township. He's done their labor negotiations, contract negotiations.
So is it the firm or is it Mr. Addis specifically?
Mr. Addis.
Okay.
Well, and also Ryan.
Well,
Ryan.
yeah, there's
Ryan-
I was gonna say, isn't the proposal from the
Right.
firm?
Yeah, and we'll rely on Mr. Addis, but he has other people in the firm that would do work.
So I'm just curious, though, why we wouldn't call in other firms and at least interview and look at unless there's a specific personal connection that you feel strongly about him
Well,
doing.
I think that the personal connection is that I've known Mr. Addis forever.
Okay.
And I think he's one of the best attorneys in the state.
And I don't know him. He may-
And I know that.
he may
I'm
be.
telling you
I'm not
that.
disputing that.
No, I'm telling you that.
But understand, you're the only one on the board that has that position. We don't.
I'm sharing it with you now, and if you have any other questions, John, I'd be happy to answer.
Would you like to ask him questions? He can come
Well,
up here.
that's where I feel as the township board, it would be a better situation if we brought in and interviewed, and he may be the candidate, he may be the person. But if we brought them in and interviewed, then the board would be confident moving forward that this was a good decision.
Well, if you have another attorney that you're interested in, bring them in, and we'll interview them.
If you have,
He also has,
if you have any questions, I'll answer anything you want.
Okay. No, I'm good.
he has a partner who is very experienced in planning and zoning and these types of things as well. So I think the team of them together can give us good counsel should we need it. I mean, we may not need
Have
it.
we had a problem with Siebert and Delowski as far as planning and zoning?
Well, we've had some lawsuits that they've had to represent us on, and
But isn't that
maybe
why
if
we-
you,
isn't that
if we
why
were
Why
able
we have them though, for when there are issues in the township, for them to represent
Well,
us?
we're trying maybe hopefully to avoid them.
I seriously believe after
If you can-
reading a lot of the ordinances that they have to be rewritten.
That may be.
The noise ordinance is so vague, it doesn't even apply anymore.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
And so I would trust his judgment. There's certain ordinances that I think the township, there's certain ordinances that I think the township should consider enacting and adopting. And I know he's well qualified to do it.
And I'm not disputing his qualifications because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
just
that.
saying that
Well,
typically,
you're welcome to interview him, talk to him.
okay.
I mean, I did, that's what we're supposed to do, right, is research and find things out, so.
So it's acceptable practice to bring in a law firm or an engineering firm or whatever without advertising and,
I didn't say that.
okay, I'm just trying to
Not
figure
about
out
an
why we're doing
engineering
it that way.
firm. Not about an engineering firm. You're throwing that in.
No.
It's true about an attorney, but not for an engineering firm.
So, okay, I don't see the difference.
There is a difference under the law.
Okay. Then I'm ignorant on it, then I admit it.
Well, there is.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Want to do a roll call?
Okay, roll call vote, Maureen Bory.
I was first last time, and be first again, okay, yes.
John was first last time.
I would, oh, sorry.
Paul Cassidy.
Yes.
Jerry Galka.
Yes.
Brian Campbell. John DeBoyer.
No.
Tanya Hogan, no.
Okay, motion passed. It's not on this, and it wasn't on here about a second opportunity for public comments, as a gentleman pointed out. We didn't put anything on here on board comments, but we could take board comments if anybody would like to speak. And I don't remember if we do that before or after the...
The public comments.
Public comments are
Yeah, we do
first.
public comments, so if anybody wants to make a public comment that thinks it's necessary after all the things that many of the people have said.
My name is Pam Murtis, and when I see injustice, something just goes off on me, and I just can't help myself.
You're to address the board, please.
We can't hear.
Yep, so I am addressing the board. So
When we
anyway,
can't hear you when you talk to the crowd, it's easier if you face us. How's that?
I would rather be overwhelmed. Thank you, sir, thank you. I would rather be overwhelmed and stressed as I search for the truth than to sit back and say, there's nothing that I can do about that. During the election campaigning several months ago, I saw injustice the day that you, Mr. Cassidy, came down our street and handed my husband your sheet of deceit. And that was the beginning of the smear campaign that 5 of you sitting on the board participated in. Researching your false and misleading concerns was how I came to meet Artie, Cindy, and Christy, 3 of the finest people that I have ever met.
All right, the sheet of deceit. It gets.
With integrity, honesty, professionalism, experience, knowledge, transparency, efficiency, and friendliness, these dedicated township officials ran that office like a well-oiled machine. If there is an Artie, Cindy, Christy fan club, then I say, sign me up. After the election, injustice reared its ugly head again. I saw injustice when the water department had $150,000 in their account, only to be removed by 4 of you on this board in order to finance your own personal agenda. Your top of the list priority was to fund the feasibility study for a second ferry any way that you could, even if it meant taking money away from the water department, one of our most essential service providers. Something just went off of me, and I just couldn't say there's nothing that I can do about that. In my quest to find the truth, I sent multiple requests for information to this board, but was met with resistance every step of the way. In response to one of my requests for information, Maureen suggested that I put together a list of questions and that they would be answered in a timely fashion. Instead of answering my question, she emailed me stating, I have been instructed to inform you to contact the Attorney General with your concerns. That led to my first FOIA request, which will cost me over $200 for the information that should be provided to residents for free. In campaign literature from Maureen, one of her bullet points stated that she was fighting for transparency to bring awareness. I didn't realize at the time that she meant that we would be fighting for her transparency to bring awareness to our concerned residents. Mr. DeBoyer, I thank you for your integrity and courage in speaking up, even when you're in the minority. Your willingness to stand by your principles is truly appreciated and makes a difference in our community. Yes, I am only one person, but I will continue to fight for transparency, truth, and justice for our community. If I can do it, I know that each of you can too.
Hello, Artie Bryson, 8356 South Channel again. I know, hi Eileen. Amazing. It is. I've heard in the past Mr. Cassidy, Mr. Gelka, and Ms. Bowery say how depressed Harson's Island is. It's so depressed. Nothing going on. We're all going broke. Devastated over there. I noticed there's a lot of islanders here. In fact, I think more islanders spoke today than non-islanders. So if it's so depressed, the economy, why is the property value on Harson's Island about 20 to 25% higher than it is on the mainland? True fact. Why are there more building permits? Why are there more building permits issued on the island than on the mainland? Why is the inventory of homes for sale on the island very much lower than on the mainland? And to that, in the last 2 years, Middle Channel Marina expanded their store and the party store. W.C. Beardsley put in a new party store and gift shop. Walker's Landing did a big expansion and put lots of money in it. San Souci Bar just opened up and they spent a lot of money on it and doing a fine job. And there's another store opening up in downtown San Souci this spring. If it's so depressed, why are homes more expensive? And why are all these businesses expanding and opening up? Food for thought. Thank you, and I'm good to see all you depressed
Tim Iron, Clay Township. I'd just like to say the idea of having an attorney sit on the board is a wonderful one. You take example from Marine City. Their attorney is fantastic. He advises them, he helps them with their charters. They've been going through their charters. It's just a nice tool to have, and when things come up in the meeting, he's right there to help. That's the only thing I have.
You can't get a lot of support for saying something nice about an attorney.
Richard King, 4055 Green Drive, Harson's Island, again. Mr. Cassidy, do you know what an elector is? Since you won't answer, I will let you know what that means, if I can get my phone to work right. It's a person who has the right to vote in an election. I believe that's all of us. And I'm not a lawyer, but I do have the internet. The inhabitants of a township shall have the power, by a vote of the registered electors of the township, to grant and vote sums of money not exceeding amounts limited by law that they consider necessary for defraying proper charges and express expenses arising in the township. The township board or a township officer shall not create a debt or a liability against the township. I believe Mr. DeBoyer has even mentioned today that there could be a possibility of a liability on moving this money. You can't issue a warrant, certificate, order for the payment of money unless the creation of the debt or liability or the payment of the money has been authorized by vote of the registered elected electors. Reading this, I tend to believe that we have the right to vote on whether this money gets moved or not. As taxpayers of this township, I request that. I request that vote because I believe you're creating a liability. So I request a formal vote for the movement of this money. Thank you.
Brian Kufeld, 8401 McKinley. Just to touch up again on Mr. Bryson's comments about the terrible repressed economy on Harson's Island. Maybe it's true that Mr. Cassidy says it's repressed and it's down from 1,000 residents to only 400. How many of those parcels are sitting empty and waiting to be sold? Is that island littered with real estate signs? Or have these large LLC conglomerates purchased all these? Guess what? You're not going to grow your resident count by someone with 400 acres buying another 50 to 100 acres, if not more.
Sir, could you make your comments to the board, please?
I'm sorry, can you hear me? I'm pretty sure you can hear me, correct? So would you please not interrupt me if you can hear me? Because that is why you interrupted everyone else, because you couldn't hear them. So if you cannot hear me,
then
When I
tell me
address
that you
people,
cannot
I
hear
give
me.
them the courtesy of facing them. Apparently you don't.
Please look up.
Oh.
Okay,
You also.
all right. So, are these conglomerate LLCs that keep growing their large parcels, are those your select few that are worried about, no? Better
That's
reset
not
that
your-
timer.
That's
I would stop right there and do the old Jim Carrey bit where you talk out your butt, literally. Just, just to tell them how I feel about it.
not your time, that's
Oh, never mind.
just
Are these the residents that you're worried about their economy or their return on investment for their $10 a month that you tried to get the water charge reversed for? Let's look at the ferry rates. This pipe dream of a $5 ferry. The ferry to Canada, little more than a trip over to Harson's Island, $12 US. According to HIDA's website, and we all know from Ms. Bowery's statement that if it's listed on HIDA's website, it's true. So the Detroit Bridge Company is a friend or acquaintance or maybe even a business associate of HIDA.
airplane
It
mode.
costs
That's
$9
your-
to cross on a structure that's been in existence since 1929. But we're going to institute a brand-new ferry system for $5.
Upta's doing it.
That is a
Eastern-
pipe dream.
They're doing it up north.
All right?
They're doing it
Otherwise,
now.
I'd like to congratulate the Board of Four on passing their items. We all know that the Board of Four is going to pass everything. Congratulations to the other two for not implicating themselves in these matters. And we know there's going to be issues. Congratulations to Mr. Addis because he's going to have a lot of representation moving forward. Thanks.
Sure, if I could interrupt you, I would have answered those questions you asked earlier, but because of the nature of our community here that's here today, I decided not.
Is that part of my time or no, or can
No,
I address
I'm
that
just-
as separate from my
I'm
time?
doing you the courtesy of
Thank you.
explaining why. You want to ask me
Can I-
after the meeting? I'll talk with you, no problem.
All right, Adam Pender, 2979 Fruit. I just want to say I grew up in this community since third grade, right? I'm 28 currently. Within the next 4 years, I'd like to have a house. I don't know if it's going to be here anymore. I spent the last 3 years down in Dallas chasing my childhood dream. You know what I did? I came back here because I missed home. But why am I ever going to, put my investment into a place where I can't trust that the board will be, conducted in the way that they should legally and transparently? And, that's an issue, obviously, as well as on top of that, why should any potential businesses or my business or anything else like that look into something where clearly, there's personal interests and everything by the current board? I just also wanted to address that,
I think that's
the props to the board members that didn't implicate themselves in that, but in that vote. But what happens if that vote was not done properly and it comes to bite you all? Then that comes back on us, because as much as it was your actions, if they were done in vain, it will affect all of us. Everything at this board affects everyone here. That's why we're all here. That's why we all care. So just please keep that in mind.
Hi, Andy Goulet again, 9812 North River Road. So just to touch on earlier, thanks for adding the second public comment and then the board comments. That I hope that's going to be useful and fruitful, and I look forward to hearing the things we spoke about a few minutes ago. One other thing about legal counsel is Clay Township is a member of the Michigan Townships Association. Okay, and many counties are members of county associations. School boards and school districts are members of associations that act on their behalves. All of these entities and all of these associations have lawyers. I know that our school district contacts lawyers at the various organizations, they do.
They will not give you legal counsel.
I'm not saying
They will not give you
legal
legal
counsel.
advice.
Maureen, let him talk.
I'm just telling you that.
Maureen, let him
Okay.
talk.
I know that many organizations are given, maybe not legal counsel, but at least direction where to look to assist their counsel. Let me put it that way. And you can go ahead and disagree with me, that's fine. Glad you got to do what you wanted to do. I look forward to hearing your answers to the other questions. One of the things, this thing about the island being depressed, and Mr. Cassidy, a short time ago at a luncheon, said that it's cost prohibitive for folks to get back and forth to the island. And, you know, the thing about living on or moving to an island is, and there's, again, a whole lot of island people here, is when I'm going to think about moving to an island, I would imagine that I would know that there's a ferry and there's going to be an expense involved in having that service to have to be provided to do what I want to do. Much like if you live near a railroad track, you're probably going to be held by trains. So I just, that part of it is something else to consider, and thank you.
Okay, so islands are surrounded by water.
Wendy, Harson's Island. I would thank John DeBoyer, Tanya Harding, and I know Mark Bouchard. He's a very good guy. And I'm very sad about you other four. You are not doing what the people want. The people don't want this money spent there. And this is just sad. And it's going to cost us, not you, well, maybe you, but it'll cost us in the end. We will have to pay for your mistake. This is a sad, sad thing that you don't do what this whole room came here for.
Hi, Joe Lenz, Green Drive, Harson's Island. I really don't understand why this ferry issue is being pushed on the township. The majority of the township doesn't want it. Why do you continue to push it? I don't know where you get your numbers from that people want this. The majority don't want it. So why is it being pushed? Drummond Island Ferry, they don't have a $5 ferry. They don't run 24 hours a day.
Sugar Island, Drummond Island, Utah.
And Drummond Island is a whole, they don't run 24 hours a day. You gotta buy a book. It's $5.50 if you buy a book. Don't run 24 hours a day. It's not even comparable. There's a lot of tourism on Drummond, so that the state can help whoever else. So I don't think you can compare Drummond Island to Harson's Island. Mr. Campbell, I don't know what you do. Are you just a yes vote? Are you just a puppet? I don't know. Can you name 5 things you've done for the township? That's it. And maybe you could sit up and act professional too.
Alan Snella from Bruckner Island. I've been sitting here listening to what's going on back and forth, and I was just curious, is this supposed to be a conversation, a question and answer period, or are we just up here, all the people in here, just speaking from the heart and falling on deaf ears because there is no feedback from the panel that's up there? And we, as people who are...
I'll take this one. It's B. It's B.
As you can see, concerned about this, you should be able to at least address some of the questions, defer otherwise, but show that you're interested in what we are saying instead of sitting there like a bump on a log. And still, how are we going to find out, one, who is benefiting from this study? And two, who proposed it? Because right now, if that's the question, I would, being on Bruckner Island, I would like to open up a bed and breakfast. And how do I get $150,000 to get a feasibility study on that? Because usually when a company goes to start a business or to expand a business, they dig into their own pockets to see if it's feasible. They don't ask the government or of the community, hey, why don't you guys pony up because we want to come here? Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else? All right, thank you. We'll close public comment. We'll talk about the board comments. Mr. DeBoyer, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Just a couple of questions. First off, do we have any update on our insurance claim for our water main break? I know Jerry's been updating via,
Yeah,
anything new?
yeah, we took Lance took the pipe down to Chicago because they're doing an analysis on it, and it's going to be 5 to 6 weeks. So we've got
waiting on
about
that?
3 or 4 more weeks.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's in limbo until we get those?
It's in limbo, yeah.
Okay. One other item, and I don't want to speak for the whole board, but I know in the past, typically, at the end of our 6-month, December 31st, we would sometimes get a update on our budget, all our budgets, police, fire, water, all of them. So we have a 6-month snapshot of where we're at.
We've
So
been
we-
collecting that from our department heads.
So I would like, from the treasurer,
We're working on that right now.
I would like a 6-month update, and I don't know if the rest of the board would like that, but that's helpful in planning for next year.
We're working on that
So
right now.
when could I see that?
Probably in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, okay. And you'll email that to me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The other question I had is we've had a few miscellaneous emails, I know, to the entire board from various citizens. Do we have a designated person who should be responding to those emails or?
The FOIAs, we can respond. If somebody wants to respond to an email, they can.
Well,
But the FOIA.
I'm not going to respond and step out of turn. That's why I was asking. I was just
If you want to
curious.
respond, you can.
No, I don't think that's my position as a trustee, but that's why I was curious if we have a designated person who does
Our
answer.
clerk does the FOIA.
And I understand if it's FOIA'd, that's a different issue, but,
Yeah.
so it would be the clerk?
Does the FOIAs, but I've responded to some. If I
Okay.
get something
Yeah, I
I
do
think
too.
important, I respond.
Okay, because there's a few that I received as part of from, the entire board that there was no response to, so,
I don't know.
and I was just curious. Okay, thank you.
Maureen, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, I prepared a long speech to answer a lot of these questions, but due to the length of this meeting, I think I'm just going to save it till Monday night. On a positive note, I want to say that the board has scheduled the 4th annual Dancing in the Street on Harson's Island for May 17th with 3 bands booked. Big thank you to San Souci Downtown Inc., Susie and Crystal for helping with finding sponsors and organizing the food. We got the bands and the stages set up. Also, the bands have been booked for every Thursday night for Music in the Park. As you know, Algonac does the first half of the summer, we do the second half. So we've got that set up, and there's going to be 4 Music in the Park, Island Style in Brownsfield. And the Sturgeon Fest is going to be September 27th over here. So just to give you a little update on what's going on. Since we don't have a Parks and Rec coordinator yet, we've been doing the work ourselves on the board, so we're gonna take care of you.
Just one thing, I want to talk about the ferry. When I campaigned on that I wanted an alternative ferry. So, I don't know, I got voted in, so obviously in my campaign promise that said I was looking for an alternative ferry, people must want it. They wouldn't have voted me in if it wasn't for that.
So suck it, everyone.
Okay. Ryan?
Nope.
I just want to say, make a couple comments. So during public comment time, the board is not supposed to engage in conversation with you guys. You guys are supposed to say your piece, and we're not supposed to engage with you. We can comment during board comments. So I wanted to just make that clear. So there's no more outbursts and confusion on that matter.
I'll try to respond to a couple of the issues. That gentleman over there, I'm sorry, I don't hear very well to begin with. But your idea that anytime a board or a township obligates itself should be done by public vote, we have, I want to give the board a little information here. I've looked at all the water and sewer projects. I think we're good on 3 of them. The 4th project is going to require an expenditure by the township of $3,609,000. That's for the small diameter pipe that has to be repaired. And
So, I'm sorry to interrupt, so these are water and sewer?
this is on the sanitary sewer improvement, the small diameter.
Seeking any grants?
And there was a grant received of $1 million to do the study. And the agreement on that was that if they do not, if the board does not do the repairs, do the work, they have to return 90% of that grant. You probably already know that, right?
We spoke about it.
And so somehow there has to be a bond floated by the board if we're going to do those repairs. And that gentleman thinks we should put it out for public vote, but it doesn't really have to be. Not everything has to be put out for public vote, and this is one of them. Could you imagine what the vote would be if you told people that weren't connected to that pipe, said, well, you're going to pay for it? Those people would probably vote against it. And I don't know that, but people vote for different reasons. In any event, this study by OHM was required by MDOT. In order to get MDOT funding, they required the study, and that's why it was done. And there was 2 parts to it, and we agreed to pay for the second part. To give everybody an update on the algae plant, we don't exactly know where we're at with that. We're going to try to find out in the next 7 days, but what's happened so far is that a $2 million allocation was made by the state government to start on that algae plant. In my discussions with somebody from Lisa McLean's office, is that they would give another, they tell you they'll give you 2.2 million. I don't know that that'll get approved by the federal government. But Mr. Monty was here last meeting telling us that this could be over $6 million. There's going to be, if that's the case and we don't get any other grant money, there's going to be a shortfall on that project, which is going to be $2 million. Now, how are we supposed to pay for that? I mean, this.
And it was supposed to be done by November of '24
That was
and
the
working.
other thing. Mr. Bryson said this project would be done by November 2024, and there's not even a shovel in the ground yet.
But I believe the 6 million was for the.
Nope, this is the reduced.
Lack of a better term, phase 1 and phase 2.
Yeah, this is for a reduced amount of houses. In fact, they want to put an injector in each house for $15,000 per house. Do the homeowners want to pay for that?
It was going to be 2 million for phase 1, and then we were going to extend it.
And the question
And
is.
phase 2 was going to be 4 million, but now it's 6 million for phase 1.
That's going to cover some of the downtown area? Not that, I'm not saying I'm against it, I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm just saying that these are issues we've got to look at.
Sure, absolutely.
And we don't even know the monthly costs.
Yeah.
None of this was figured in the
So I
plan
told
when all these
Mr.
promises were
Monti,
made.
By next week, get me as close a dollar amount as you can to what it's going to cost. Now, personally, I've done some development. I don't spend money until I know what everything's going to cost, so I know I can afford it.
Sure.
I don't think it was done in this case. I think it was, I got $2 million, let's spend it, and you know what? Your brother told me a couple days ago, the state's out of money.
Yeah, I
They
think
had $9 billion
grants are drying
a
up.
year ago.
Grants are drying up.
Huh?
Grants are drying up, you're right.
He says it's gone. And now we have President Trump in, who's trying to keep a clamp on public funding. He's trying to watch where we're spending our money. Sure. I don't know if Lisa McLean's going to succeed in getting more money.
If I can get back to my board comment, because I wasn't done yet. I just wanted to let everybody, I wanted to touch on, I know you all were asking why the time today, and as the clerk, I get requests from board members if they want a special meeting with dates and times, and then I make the flyer and present it to the community. So that is my job.
But why can't it be Monday?
It's not question time, Paul.
I'm just clarifying some things for you guys. I had a request, so that's why the meeting was set.
All right, I don't think there's much more need for me to make any other comment, except the gentleman that gave me this, if you're still here, I'd like to talk to you after the meeting.
Ask Brian if he's got any comments.
Brian, do you have anything? No. All right, do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Now I'm invested. I got to know if Jerry's gonna keep going. It looks like they were talking about it's a year for a recall. That meeting was March, so at the latest, at least, I think they could call for a recall next March. But it might. I don't know when the start date is. I'm gonna have to monitor this. I want to. I want to see when all this goes down. I even considered showing up at a meeting. I did. I mean, I'm not going to, but I did consider it. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. Back-to-back streams. Good times. I'll see y'all soon.